Summer Turner, speaking about Giggets again. All right, so we kind of gotten into the basics of Giggets, how it works, how members will be able to use it with our youth centers. Now I just want to go into why I want to create this sort of device. So why does it matter? So with domestic abuse, on average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States of America. About 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe intimate partner physical violence. About 2,340 deaths, and this is just in 2007. 14% homicides. When it comes to sexual violence, about 34.8% were reported to police, up to 29.3 in 2014, or 2004, excuse me, not 2014. And they're all between the ages of 12 and 34. Around approximately like 70% of rape and like sexual assault for like victims experiencing moderate or severe distress. 37% experiencing family or friend problems with the sexual violence. Theft. Instead of 65% of burglars, right? It's like 65%, and these are outdated numbers, guys. It was 65% then, okay? Of theft, it usually happens between like 6 a.m. and like 6 p.m., I think they were saying. Most common hours are between also 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., depending the area. 12% of the time, the victims knew their attackers. That's the sad part. Visual proof. We are in a time where politicians are even being wrongly accused of rape, and victims of rape are being wrongly accused of being predators and not victims. I want to create Giggets when it comes to our security version of Giggets because of the statistics I gave you. Just like with theft and most of these crimes that I just gave you percentages of, most of the abusers are known. They groom their prey. Theft, sexual abuse, domestic abuse, it's all by people you trusted. It's by people that had some kind of connection to you, whether it be they were in your class with you or they were a friend of a friend. Sometimes it's an ex-boyfriend's brother. Like, it's connected to you, but not sometimes. Predators are all around. And instead of creating a paranoid society where it's the old versus the young, the rich versus the poor, whites versus blacks, Christians versus atheists, we need to create something that I believe can be used worldwide in different realms. So this is part 1 of Gigit, security. To be able to provide that proof, it automatically records and is sent to the authorities as well as contacts the authorities if there is an unfamiliar individual coming in through the window, door steps, whatnot. And of course, you have the time to build a program with us. Like I was saying, it's all personal made, where you can put in specific faces that you see daily. If you're a college student and you just have people going in and out of your house, we'll leave it blank. You can always set it up where certain faces are recognized, or you can leave it blank where the system just records all. And if there are, we'll just set it up for certain indicators where, there's trauma, meaning like 2 people fighting or whatnot. And like I said, we can leave it blank if you like to wrestle with your brother, and 911 will just call and say, hey, is there anything we need to go through? They'll be able to also review the image, and this way they can tell a difference from an emergency call versus two brothers getting into it, or seeing who's the better man. Um, I have brothers and sisters. We didn't wrestle because my brother was definitely stronger than me, but I know siblings who do, and it's not a form of violence. So like I said, we can set it up personally to how you like it. If you want to set it up where these faces, if recognized, are set up or not because of the statistics I just placed down for you. Most abuse was done by a familiar. Theft, sexual abuse, domestic abuse, and so on. Who can use this? Well, anyone can purchase the Gigits program, and depending on what you add to your specific creation, the price varies. If you do our general, then it's our general price. If you add a little this and little that, a little this and little that costs money. And we are willing to definitely first work with your budget. Gigit regardless is going to do what I've already explained in the first video, where it's going to record, it's going to transfer to a chip, it's going to project the picture on the portable device, and it's going to go to your online account, and if needed, contact the police. So that's just general. But if you want to add specifics, specialize it, color code, whatever, that's where it gets a little more, because now you're asking for custom made. Like I said, we'd also be using Gigit, that app where parents can review what their children are doing, face recognition, where we would be working with companies to build a chip that's specifically for our clothes. So later on, we will provide clothing. We want to give confidence back to the homeless and confidence to individuals who are struggling. I don't understand the embarrassment to say, I don't have enough money for food. I did not budget. I feel that in this world, we demonize people who really just don't have the education or understanding, even if they had the education of money. I mean, I didn't learn taxes in high school, but I was expected to know how to do my taxes when I went to college. I mean, I didn't learn a lot of things that are useful. And that is something Abundant Shire would definitely be trying to pick up the slack when it comes to certain agencies. We don't want to compete with schools. We want to create programs that assist them on bettering and growing. I'm growing from this. So with the fashion trips, it's just making sure that individuals can get into youth centers. But later on, we also want to provide this for individuals who are mentally, insane. We want to work with institutions so they can be tracked. Even individuals who are disabled, with our Gigit app, their caretaker parents can review where they are, and with the chip, our department as well as the parent or guardian, and both, it won't be just one, will be reviewing where they are so that they can have an independent life, the independent life they deserve. It is okay to have a caretaker, but even no man or woman should be restricted to go for a walk in the park if they can. But we shouldn't be turning our backs to them and say it's not our responsibility to keep track of them. And this is where I want to use Gigit to connect not just to institutions that house the mentally insane, but individuals who are mentally disabled but want to know what it's like to live on their own. They'll definitely be using our programs as well as assisting elderly, maybe who didn't have children, or just have children who do not care for the elderly and their mother or fathers. because of this, they will struggle, and I don't want them to become homeless because of that. I'll be their grandchild. Our psychologist will be their grandchild. We will take responsibility for them while still giving them the life where they can care for themselves. We will not invade bathrooms or shower times. The member has the ability to keep it in specific areas. Like I said, it could just be of entry areas to make sure you're not, dealing with certain, you know, outside troubles. We don't want you to not be able to sit in your underwear in your own house. We're strictly looking for this, and you can put it on the outside of your house. This way, it's not really watching you from the inside. You're not losing your personal life. We're not watching you watch a movie. We're not watching you do anything. And we can set up where there are certain cameras inside, where later on they can turn on if, like we say, there's like a door kicked in or a window kicked in, and that's the only thing that's going to turn on those cameras. Or if an individual does not feel comfortable with cameras in their house, we put it just all on the outside, whether they're an apartment or a house. This way, they still have that, I do what I want, and I'm not going to be watched creepily. Somebody's not going to turn on the camera and, sell photos of me because they hacked into Gigit's system. It's really where you place the markers. That's where we're going, and it's always going to be on entry. It's either going to be inside the house or the outside. Either way, they're going to be read. It's going to be sized up, and I really do recommend to put at least 4 markers on the outside of your door, so when people just come in, you can see who's knocking at your door. Do you want to answer the door or not? The tracking trips are just to give those people individual rights of why can't a mentally disabled individual have their own life? Why can't they be? Why can't they be who they want to be? Why can't they grow? We'd love to work with stores like Marshall's and Ross. The point is we work with big names, but we're small town. So we'd like to start with companies that reflect small town, and we want to start with the general public. The wealthy will always be able to afford this. It will be as simple as putting it in belts. It could be a button that one of your buttons that you wear on your jackets. Company logos, if you like little brooches and whatnot. The chip can be installed there, and it could be on specific clothes. The reason we want to do clothes is because there are sometimes people are going to clubs for the first time, and they're going by themselves. So they always know, wear that one jacket with the chip, or bring that one purse that has the chip in it. So if somebody steals my purse, I can find it in a moment. Call the cops, they can track the purse. The same thing with the reason I want to do like belts, chips, and like logos and whatnot. Child abduction. I didn't do the percentages for that, but we know it takes place. Some kids walk home. With Abundant Shire, we'd hope to get our van service so they don't have to, but for the ones that may not want to pay for the membership or whatnot, or are not in our going area, because it would be free if we're going that way already. But if you're like in an area that's outside source, we'd have to make like a little membership. We got to keep the business going. Watches too, so children can still tell time, or adults, and it's something that's so insignificant. They don't think, oh, there could be a chip, a tracker in a watch. Or shoes, where kids like the little light up shoes, we'd put chips in there as well. This is for, I mean, even adults, you know, maybe you don't want to put it in your purse. Maybe you're a male, you want to put it in your wallet. We'll have wallets, or maybe you want to put it on a belt that you wear. You're being tracked. Somebody drugs you. You're able to be found. When it comes to sensors, scanners, and receptors, the computer brain and whatnot, I won't bore you with that, but that's where the chip will have its own way of reading the room, movement and whatnot. As I explained, it'd be in shoes. For our just organizations for the youth group, it usually will be in a band, like a wristband, one that's like plastic or whatnot. You can take off and on. Another that will be in the jacket. And here's the thing though, that chip will be assigned to your face. So if somebody takes your wristband and tries to go in and thinks, oh, well, I got the wristband and the face is not recognized, you're still denied. You're not getting in. It's your face that's going to be connected and downloaded to that chip. So it reads the chip to know that you have access, but then reads your face to make sure you have clearance. We will not let children be put in a situation where they have to fear who they're around. It should be nothing but having fun, skidding knees, riding bikes, going to the park, getting help with homework. Simple life. We need to take out the complications. When it comes to the app itself, there will be memberships, and we'll have you purchase for your family bundles, but each one will have its age limit. And the reason for is because gigits will also be used for other reasons, which are going to be broken down in the next video. But for this video, I'm just going to go into membership. So from there, they'd ask for, or we would ask for, a identification card. It has to be state. If it is your passport, I don't think we'll accept passports. So whether you're in a different country or not, you have to provide your country or state identification card. Everyone has one. Everyone has to be accounted for. And from there, we want an address. Make sure it matches what's on the card. We'll send you your packet to that address. A phone number to contact you. From there, once we get that information cleared, your photo on your identification will be our way of identifying you. But of course, you can put a different profile picture. Maybe if you get your hair, you know, curled, or you just feel that that identification card makes you look horrible, you still have control of your profile. It's just that's the identification card we will have on our database to recognize you. And it will be, you know, comparing your photo to the identification card that you sent in. And if it does not match, it will be rejected. So put only pictures of yourself, because your account will be closed down and you will not be refunded. If you try to do any criminal activity, you will not be refunded. You can pay the fee. You will not be refunded. If we catch you trying to do sex trafficking, any of that, you will be blocked and we will keep the money. And we'll use that to help the homeless. There is no argument there. It will be in the small print before you sign up. If you break the law, not if somebody reports you for being mean, but if you break the law, we're keeping the money and you're getting kicked out and you're not getting in any of our systems, because we don't want to attract criminal activity. This is to build our communities and give our communities the strengths that they need to help themselves. It's as simple as being a parent. You get 5 kids. You teach them all your values as well as still strengthening what they are and what they could be. And not just what they are and what they could be, but how they can better the community and how to see their community and how to view the world and have a happy outlook. Because that happy outlook is why people help each other. When they're too busy being negative or worried, for the safety of their life, it's very hard for them to feel like giving, because at this point, they feel so crippled that they don't think they have the will to donate their time. And you think it to be selfishness. They think it to be self-preservation. Some neighborhoods are at war. When you go on our app, originally the login screen will let you know your weather for your location. It will let you see the emergency numbers for firefighters, police, ambulance, for your local hospital that's the closest to you, um, gas companies, as well as like just the bare minimum of like, oh, I smell gas in my home. There's a fire. There's a domestic abuse issue or whatnot. Just the important authorities will be listed. We're not going to have the number for the FBI on there. And then from there below, it will show you just the date, time, and of course the state that you're in. And then underneath will be the login page so that you'll be able to do this. And then when it comes to Gigit's apps, it will also save whatever it is you do on it. So what I was telling you with Gigit security, there's going to be a folder on your online account, and that online account is going to be created with the membership that you purchase. If you buy security Gigit security, you're still purchasing that package, and the website is free itself to use, because it's really just to be used to allow members to connect to one another. However, there will be events that we provide, and that's going to be on the next video, and that is where you'll see different charges through our app, and that's for a whole different realm. Gigit's apps will be used for multiple things. Now that I kind of explained to you that part, I'm going to make the next video about what comes next.